Hello guys and welcome back to the React.js COVID-19 tracker application tutorial. So as you can see that now we have our bottom tab navigator ready, and now we'll have to design this header section over here, this global situation and this animation stat. So in this video we're going to be designing these two parts, this global situation header and this animation stats layout. So let's get to it. First, as we can see that we are on the global stats tab right now, and we have a component over here which is named as a screen. So when we were starting the project, we just named it as home for simplicity. But now we will change its name, and we will say that it's global stats, so that we know that we are working on the global stats screen. We just change the name and put it as global stats, and global stats text over here. We'll import it as global stats. Over here we can say that it's okay. So our screen is updated. Let's now go and design this part of the application, this global situation header and this stats card. All right, sorry. Okay, so now what we have to do, as we can see that we have a main view, and inside the main view we have the text. So what we can do is we would need a card over here in which we will show the global situation heading. So what we can do is import the card from React Native Paper, the React Native Paper package that we installed. And okay, so as we move on further in these videos, what I'll try to explain you is that how the flexbox works with the views in React Native. So basically in React Native everything is a view. Every component that you're going to design and the elements inside those components, every component is going to be wrapped in a view, and every elements in those components or in that container has to be wrapped in a view. So for example, now as we can see that we have a card over here. So let's just first, so we'll put this whole card in a view first. So as we can see, we have our main view, and inside our main view we are opening another view, and in this new view we can open up a card. So we have our card in a separate view. Now what we want is the global situation heading. So for that we can open up a new view, and we can give it a text of global situation, global situation. Okay, so now as you can see, we have a card, we first have the main view, which is the view for the entire screen, and then we have another view inside it which would be used for the card that we are going to be placed over here, and then we have a card inside it, and then for the text inside the card we have a separate view. So in React Native everything is a view. So let's just first give some styling to the card. Okay, so we already have a view, and inside a view there is a card, so we won't need this view. As you can see that we have a view, and then inside the view we have a card, so we already have a view over here. So there's a card inside a view, and then let's just give some style to the card so that you can understand. Styles dot card. Let's import the style sheet. Inside over here we can say styles style sheet dot create. Okay, so now we can open the class for designing the style card. Let's give it a width of 100%. Let's give it a margin top of, okay, let's give it a margin top of 10. Let's give it a bottom of 10. Let's give it a padding of 15. Okay, so now you can see that we have a card over here. Let's okay, now we have a separate view inside this card in which we have a text wrapper. So what we need to do is, which we can call the main header of the class. So let's call it styles.header. We'll define it. Okay, let's give the background color can be white. Okay, so now what I'm doing over here is that I have a main view for I had the main view for the whole card, and then I had the card inside the main view, and then inside the main view I had to put this text over here. So I opened another view. So I opened another view, which would be the main view for the elements inside the header. So this is my view for the header, for the elements for the header, and this is the text inside it. So for example, if I put another text, it will say text and text. Now I will further explain you how you can apply the flexbox trick inside these view to align the icons with the global situation and just and center the whole text. So yeah, for right now we have the main view, the header view, we have justify content center and align content, align items to be centered as well. Okay, so now let's first look at this. I've given the property to the header as justify content center and align items as center. So what it did is it brought the global situation header to the center of the screen, because I had the main view, main header view, and inside the main header view I applied the flexbox property and justify content and align items. So it brought the element inside the header to the center of the card. So that is how we can apply the flexbox properties inside the elements of the view. We will give the flexbox property to the main view inside which the elements are being assigned, and then once we give the flexbox property to the main view, that flexbox property will be applied to the elements inside the view. So let's just complete the styling first. We'll give it a padding of 20, and what else do we want? We need a height. Let's give it a height of 7. Okay, so now we have the card and we have the text. Also we would have to define the style for text as well. So let's say styles.text, styles.header text. Give one curly bracket over here. I'll give it a font size of, let's say, 20. Okay, I will give it a font weight of, which is going to be bold. Okay, so now what we need to have is, as per the design, we need to put an icon over here. In this design it is a calendar icon over here, but we will change it to the global icon. So what we need to do is just import Ionic icons from Expo. What's the name? Expo vector icons. Okay, so now we are importing ionic icons directory from the expo vector icons package. So as we discussed before, that expo vector icons package is a whole repository provided by expo, through which we can import different other icon directories like ionic icons. If I want, I would be able to use on design over here. So whichever icon we want from whichever directories available, we have a central package for that over here called expo vector icon. So right now we'll be using a global icon for globe. Its name is md globe. Size is 30. Okay, we need to give a size in bracket. Function to export. Okay, we don't have is just ion icons. We had the spelling wrong. Okay, so now we have a global icon over here. So now as you can see that the global icon and the global text are both aligned in a row. So now over here guys, it is very important to focus on this part, because right now we would understand the main flexbox techniques that are very handy, comes in very handy while designing the layout in React Native. So as you can see what is happening over here, I have a main view and I have elements inside it. I have a vector icon and I have a text. So right now, if I would give a flexbox property to the header or flex direction row to in order to align this globe and text in a row, it won't work. Like I'll just show you. Like for example, I am giving the property of row so that the components, the elements inside my main view element should be aligned in a view. So it aligned it in the view. We can do it like this, but a much better approach would be to assign another view to the elements inside the view, because flexbox would work better on the views inside the views instead of just assigning it. Okay, this works fine this way as well. So what the flexbox trick we can see over here is that everything in a flexbox is a view. Okay, now we have this main view, and if you want to apply any flexbox property inside the elements of this view, we can assign the flexbox property to the main view, which in our case the main view is the header view. So we assign the flexbox direction row, so it aligned the all the items inside our main view in a row direction. Now let's just give a little bit of margin as well, so that they are, give margin like this. Let's give it a margin left while uploading property margin in shadow. Okay, let's just give it some padding. Okay, so now as you can see, we are applying the margin to the overall header of the view, but we have to give margin to these two elements inside. That is why we will have to wrap it inside the view as well, so that we can give margin to it separately. But it won't work like that due to the spacing. So let's just do one thing. We can give margin to this. So yeah, now we have a little margin between the global situation and the text. Now the next thing would be to designing this animation stats part. So as you can see, let's just discuss the layout of the design. We'll have a main header. We will have a main card. This is the main card, which will open a main card element, and then inside this main card, we'll open another view. We are going to open another view for these three elements inside, and then inside that view we are going to open each individual three views, one view for this, one view for this, and one view for this one, for the for these stats. So how many views do we have? One is the card view, that is we contain in the card. The card can also be called a view. It has its own properties, but it has the functionality of a view since we are importing it from React Native paper. So we can call it a view if not card, but let's call it a card. So we have a card view over here first, and then inside the card view we have another view for these three elements, and then inside that view we have individual three elements. One element for this one view for this one, confirmed cases, one view for recovered, and one view for deaths. So let's see how it rolls out.